And welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Junior Garcia, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Lieutenant Governor holds press conference. More guns off of the streets, and complex track team returns with awards. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
This is WSVI Channel 8 News, the voice of the Virgin Islands, starting now.
In our top story, the Governor, Kenneth Mapp, administration has announced Rick Mulgrave as its new Bureau of Corrections Director at a press conference here earlier today. Mr. Mulgrave's announcement comes at a critical time for the territory's prison system, which remains under constant decree and where morale has seemed to be very low.
He's a law enforcement professional who has gained the bulk of his experience as a supervisory level rank within the Gwinnett County, Georgia Sheriff Department. As a sheriff deputy, our nominee has served on the sheriff's administration team, and in that capacity, he supervised the sheriff's office staff and managed the administrative affairs of that office. During more than 20 years in the facilities management and law enforcement field, our nominee has supervised the staff and managed 2,000 plus inmate population at Gwinnett County in Georgia jail facility. Those responsibilities included the security of the facility, the safety of the inmates and staff, the processing of inmates, the training of inmates assigned to various duties, including food preparation for 2,800 inmates and staff, and all other areas of detention within the facility. This nominee, as a sheriff's deputy, has worked at all levels of law enforcement, including courtroom security, serving arrest warrants, processing detainees, including their transport, manage inventories, supervise and coordinated renovation projects, relocations of major facilities, including their design and other aspects of management of a major correctional facility. He also remains in excellent standing as a member of the SWAT team. While his professional development has happened in Georgia, his roots are in these Virgin Islands. Our nominee attended the Charles H. Emanuel Elementary School, as well as the Arthur Richards Junior High School. He actually came to the Virgin Islands at age 9. He was born in New York. He attended Central High School and graduated from St. Dunstan High School. And he has an affiliation with Police Athletic League, in particular the Pirates team in Frederiksted, the Open Basketball League, volleyball, and the St. Croix Majorettes. Please welcome, as our newest nominee to the cabinet, heading up the Bureau of Corrections, Mr. Rick Mulgrave.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter has made it known this afternoon that he will start paying the cost of the monthly Mahogany Run condominium that was secured for him by the government of the Virgin Islands on April 1st to the price of $2,800 per month.
What I have decided to do, because it is not my intention to make a resident, a two-bedroom resident for the Lieutenant Governor to occupy, to make that be a continuous, non-stop bone of contention and distraction for this administration, for the legislature, for the people of the Virgin Islands. What I have decided to do is, going forward, because I have not spent a day at the condo, going forward, I will personally assume the cost of rental for that condo going forward. I will assume that until and with the expectation that the executive branch of government, in conjunction with the legislature, will come together and once and for all bring some resolution to this situation. It is something that, in my view, is too much a distraction and a confusion-generating situation that's worth it. I am not going to allow for this situation to continue under in the fashion that it has continued over the years, over the months or weeks. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of things that need to be done. We have a lot of items that we need to seriously focus on, both the executive branch and the legislature. I know the governor from day one has indicated that there has to be some meeting of the minds and some resolution to the manner in which we handle residence for the governor and lieutenant governor. He has said that continuously. He has indicated that he will be putting together a plan that would be forwarded to the legislature. I also understand right now that there is a senator in the legislature that has a bill proposal to take a look at this entire situation dealing with residence for the governor and lieutenant governor. This, I think, would include property and procurement, the executive branch, the legislative branch, and I believe there is a team or a task force that's being proposed by the legislature. And either way, the bottom line is this has to be something that we must resolve permanently. I'm not going to be the last lieutenant governor. There are going to be many following, and we don't need to have the governor and the lieutenant governor, whoever they might be in the future, go through the, like rolling the dice to determine if what we are doing is good, what we are doing is bad, if it's okay to spend this amount or that amount on a residence, but something on a more permanent basis, I think, must be done and ought to be done and must be done in short order in order for us as a whole to not continue to be distracted by this item. Okay? I therefore want to reiterate that going forward, I will assume the cost of the monthly rental for the Mahogany Run condo until a permanent resolution has been arrived at between the executive branch and the legislature, and I know there have been talks that preliminary talks that have taken place, and when the governor gets back, I think it will be bumped up a notch so that we can put this entire debacle behind us.
In other news, on Saturday, July 18th, at 11:30 p.m., William Liebert, 25, of Estate Castleberg, was arrested and charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm. According to the report, Liebert had been in his vehicle that was parked in a public parking lot of the Candido Guadalupe housing community when approached by officers. A bag of marijuana had been found on the front passenger seat in plain view of the officers, and after a further inspection of the vehicle, a handgun was discovered also. Bail for William Liebert was set at $25,000, and unable to post bail, Liebert was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. Stay tuned, we have more news straight ahead.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And welcome back to News Channel 8. Commissioner of Agriculture nominee Carlos Robles invites the St. Thomas community to a town hall meeting to discuss the history and the future of a fence around Rothschild's Francis Square Officials from the Public Works, Federal Highway Program, DPNR State Historic Preservation Office, and other individuals will provide a background of the project and the history of the fence. There will also, well, seating will be limited, so make sure that you come early. For more information, you can call 774-5182. Again, that number is 774-5182. It will be held at the Bicentennial Hall at the Christ of Church Methodist. That's in Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas. And the date will be on Thursday, July 23rd, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Again, that's July 23rd, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Vivid Streaming is partnering with Neighborhood Pharmacy for the online radio station's third give back. They're raising money to purchase an electric wheelchair for Reuben Turner, who was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and his life is getting a little bit more harder for him as he reaches 49 years old. We are seeing donations and contributions from individuals in what we call the Give Back. On July 24, 2015, in the Sunny Isle Shopping Center area, from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., Vivid Streaming has already conducted 2 give back events with the donation of over $800 to Coach Sherman Thomas, who was the victim of a hit and run accident on St. Thomas, and the immediate cleanup of Point Udall after individuals vandalized the iconic landmark. Donations can also be dropped off at any Vivid Streaming Studios, Neighborhood Pharmacy, or calling Anna Castillo at 340-642-8789. Again, that's Anna Castillo for any donations at 340-642-8789. Well, we wish you the best. I'll be there. And as a community, let's do what we can for Mr. Turner. Don't go anywhere. We have more news coming up next.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And finally tonight, the educational complex Barracudas return home from their big track and field event.
It was excellent. Excellent. I think this is one of the best CAC age group championship team we have ever taken to that competition. And so Michaela Smith got a goal in the 1,000 meters. And this is our first goal in a long time, so we're very pleased with it. Turn it over. Tanya Lake was second in the ball throw. Unfortunately, she checked her medal in her bag, but she was also 7th in the 800 meters as well. And then we had Macari Matthew, who was also 7th in the ball throw for the boys 11-12 age group. So all in all, we had 3 top finishers, which were those 3. Tanya Lake was 15th overall. She was 15th overall out of about 23 competitors. Macari was he was 16th overall out of about 24 competitors. And Michaela Smith was 17th out of 28 competitors. So that was a very good finish, a very good performance by this young group. We have the age group, CAC age group athletes, which are Macari, Valence, Michaela, Tiana Stanley, Lake Stanley, and Jacinia Tuitt. We also have the athletes from the World IWF World Youth Championships, Nia Jack and Rodney Griffith. They were in Cali, Colombia, and the others were in Trinidad and Tobago. So there was 2 groups here representing the Virgin Islands, and they all did wonderfully. I'll let the gold medalist speak right now about her experience there in Trinidad and Tobago.
My experience in Trinidad and Tobago was very enriching, and I was able to learn many new stuff about the island. I ran against 28 competitors throughout all the different islands and Central America as well. I feel really good, and I felt like it was really rewarding that I won the gold medal.
It's not a first in terms of a gold medal, but it's the first gold medal in a very long time. I think the last time we had a gold medal was probably in the 90s. So this was a wonderful performance, and this is something that we really like the youngsters to look forward to, because it's a stepping stone to achieving great things and getting to the world championships and so forth, as the older ones have been able to do. Tiana Lake was second in the ball throw, and actually the person that won that event set a new CAC record because the girl threw so far. So she was up against some wonderful competitors. So tell us how you feel about your performance this weekend.
I felt good about my performance this weekend because I did better than I ever had.
So she did a whole lot better than she expected to do, and she is a little hoarse. Did you enjoy yourself there?
Yes.
Tanya went up against about 23 competitors. So they were separated in 2 flights. So they were divided by about 12 and 11. And so she had to do her best in her event, in her heat. And she did well in the 800 to be 7th overall, and well in the ball throw to be second overall. We want to continue to support these youngsters as they thrive towards doing better in the future and making national teams. And we just hope that the Virgin Islands as a whole will continue to support athletics so that we can have these youngsters not only representing us, but using their talent to get an education and to make us all proud and just do their very best. When I say get an education, I'm referring to getting scholarship offers, as now the seniors from the St. Croix Educational Complex, Nia and Rodney, are up for scholarships as we speak right now, in terms of going off to school and having their talent and grades pay their way through college. In the past, we've had people like Alison Peter, Seymour Walter, and more and much more. And you can imagine that an education these days costs between $23,000 and $60,000 a year, and that can all be paid for because they're doing well academically, and of course they're doing well on the track, because it goes hand in hand. They have to do well in the class, but they also have to be doing well on the track. And so that can save you, if you look at the average of $35,000 or $40,000 every year for 4 years, that's, $160,000 in some cases and more. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to use that talent to help out yourself and your family in life.
Well, don't go anywhere. We have your weather coming up next.
Your weather coming up next. Your weather.
And here's a look at your local weather. And for your weather tonight, scattered showers mainly after 2 a.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 79. East winds around 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 40%. And on Wednesday, scattered showers, partly sunny with a high near 89. East winds around 13 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 40%. And on Wednesday night, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 81. East winds 15 to 17 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 50%. Well, that's it for your weather. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's all we have for local news. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Neighborhood Pharmacy and Vivid Streaming for continuing to give back to this awesome, outstanding community. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Well, again, I'm Junior Garcia, and World News is up next. Good night, Virgin Islands.
News Channel 8 is brought to you by the soul of the 60s record collection. available in the Virgin Islands, as seen on Channel 8 TV. 1-800-377-7204 for the greatest music of all time.